Hello, lovely students. This is Professor Badr again from Crown Academy, Kent. As I promised in my first short video that I would be uploading some videos on IELTS and English language, so this is gonna be the very first video. And I assure you this video would be very, very informative for you guys because there is always a problem with the students who come here or go anywhere to do IELTS that they even don't know the very basics of IELTS, which is how the scores are divided. So I have already written a lot of information on the whiteboard so that video could be saved from becoming too long. So you can see behind me that what I'm gonna talk about, definitely about IELTS band scores. So let's see how IELTS scores are divided. Alright, lovely students, so here is the division of the bands, band scores of IELTS. As you know, every one of you knows that there are 9 bands in total, and this is how they are divided, like 9, 8.5, 8, 7.5, 7, 6.5, 5.5, then 4.5 and 4. But here I'm gonna divide, I'm gonna explain further how you get to 9 bands and how you get to 8.5 bands, how you get to 8 bands and 7.5 another, and further I would be telling you, if you achieve 9 bands, what you are considered to be. If you achieve 8.5 bands, what you are considered to be. If you achieve 8 bands, 7.5 bands, 7, 6.5, 6, 5.5, 4.504, what's your caliber as a student? So first of all, you should be well aware of the fact that there are 3 modules that are scored. First one is reading, academic reading I mean to say, then general reading, which is also known as GT IELTS, and listening. You should be sure that listening is the same for both the tests. There is no difference between listening whatsoever. And reading, of course, reading has also the same questions, 40 questions here, about 40 questions there. It could be one less or more. But this reading is considered to be easier by the students, and this one is considered to be the toughest. So you should not think that scores are divided in the same way as for both for IELTS academic and general. There is a difference. I'm gonna show you what the difference is actually. So if you are doing IELTS, academic IELTS, and you have to hit 9 bands, you have to do 39 to 40 questions correct. As I have given a heading already there, correct answers. You can see scores, correct answers. So if a student achieves 9 bands, it means he or she has answered 39 to 40 questions correctly. If a student hits 8.5 bands, he or she has answered 37 to 38 correct answers. If a student hits 8 bands, as you can see, then they answer 35 to 36 answers correctly, then 7.5. If a student achieves 7.5 bands, it means he or she answers 33 to 34 answers in a correct way. Then 7 bands. If you achieve 7 bands, keep in mind I'm talking about reading here. 7 bands, it means you hit 30 to 32 answers correct, and 6.5. If you achieve 6.5 bands, it means you answer 27 to 29 answers. Then if you achieve 6 bands, it means the number of your correct answers is between 23 to 26. If you achieve 5 bands in academic IELTS, it means the number of the correct answers is between 15 to 18. Then 13 to 14, 10, 12, we shouldn't discuss that. Anyways, if you achieve 4.5 bands in academic IELTS, it means the number of your correct answers is between 13 to 14. But keep in mind, general reading is a bit, it is scored a bit differently. Now here you can see that if you answer 39 to 40, it means either 39 or 40 answers correct, it means you would be getting 9 bands. But here there is a little difference. Means if you are doing general IELTS, you have to hit 40 answers. You should give correct answers to the 40 questions in general IELTS. Then comes 8.5 bands. Here you can see, here you had to answer 39 to 40, between 39 to 40, but here the demand of the examiner is a bit different. It says you have to answer 40 questions correct. Then you would be hitting 9 bands in general IELTS. Moving forward, if we have a look at 8.5 bands, like if a student hits 8.5 bands or scores 8.5 bands, it means they have answered 39 questions. The number of the correct answers was 39. But here, if you compare both the academic IELTS and general IELTS, here you were getting 8.5 when you answered 37, between 37 to 38 answers in a correct way. But here you have to answer correctly 39 questions, then you would be hitting 8.5 bands in the general IELTS. Okay. Heading towards 8 bands, if a student achieves 8 bands in general IELTS, it means the number of the correct answers should be between 37 to 38, which is once again different from this one. In academic IELTS, you got to answer 35 to 36 questions correct if you have to achieve 8 bands. Please don't forget that the number of the questions is the same in both the tests. Just the number of correct answers is a bit different. Similarly, if you have to achieve 7.5 bands, you should answer 36 questions correct. But here, if you have to achieve like 7.5 bands, the number of your correct answers should be between 33 to 34. Next, we have 6.5 bands in general IELTS. If you wish to achieve 6.5 bands in general IELTS or general training, the number of your correct answers must be between 32 to 33. But here again, if we compare, there is a difference. If you answer 30 to 32 questions correctly, it means you get 7 bands here, but here you get 6.5 bands. So there is a difference of division. Alright, if you have to achieve 6 bands in general training or general reading, it means the number of your correct answers must be between 30 to 31. Again, there is a difference. If we look at the 6 bands here in academic IELTS, here the number of your correct answers must be between 23 to 26. So here, if you have to achieve 5 bands, you have to answer 27 to 29 questions correct. Means if your questions, if your answer is 27 to 29 answers are correct, you reach here. But here, if you see 5.5 bands here, the number of the correct answers is lesser than those. For example, here you, okay, yeah, here 5.5 and here 5.5, there is a difference between the number of correct answers. Here the number of correct answers must be between 19 to 22, but here you can see clearly it should be between 27 to 29. Now, moving towards 5 bands, most of the students need 5 bands in general training, but anyways, if you have to achieve 5 bands, the number of your correct answers must be between 23 to 26. Similarly, if you have to achieve 4.5 bands in general training, the number of your correct answers must be between 19 to 22. Okay, I hope so. Everything is clear, but still, if it's not clear, read it carefully and watch the video again, and hopefully everything would be clear to you. So the next module is listening. Keep in mind, listening for both general training and academic IELTS is the same. There is no difference. There is the same division of bands as well. So if you have to achieve 9 bands in listening, the number of your correct answers must be between 39 to 40. And if you got to achieve 8.5 bands, the number of your correct answers must be between 37 to 38. Then if you have to achieve 8 bands, you have to answer 35 to 36 questions. And similarly, 7.5 bands. To achieve 7.5 bands, the number of your correct answers must be between 32 to 34. Then 7 bands, if a student achieves 7 bands in listening, it means they answered 30 to 31 questions correctly. Then 6.5 bands, if a student has to achieve 6.5 bands, the number of their correct answers must be between 26 to 29. Keep in mind, I'm talking about listening. If a student has to achieve 6 bands in listening, or if a student achieves 6 bands in listening, it means the number of their or his or her correct answers must be between 23 to 25. Then 5.5 bands, if a student achieves 5.5 bands in listening, it means he or she answered 18 to 22 questions correct. Then if a student achieves 5 bands in listening, it means the number of their correct answers was between 16 to 17. And if a student achieves 4.5 bands in listening, it means the number of the correct answers was between 13 to 15. Then if a student achieves 4 bands in listening, it means, which is the lowest of course, lowest of all, their correct answers were between 10 to 12. Now I'm sure the things are clear that how bands in IELTS are scored or divided, and this division is, I'm sure, now clear. You should also understand one thing, which is if you get 9 bands, it means you are an expert in English. You've got no problem listening, reading, writing, and speaking, and you do have the ability to speak correct English, to understand it. Even complex English is very easy, and you're very comfortable with all type of English. Anyways, same is the scenario for the guys who get 8.5 bands. Then 8, okay, if a student achieves 8 band, it means they make rare errors. There are rare errors. It could be slip of tongue or something like that. It means such errors show a bit lack of confidence. It doesn't mean that you are bad at English. It means that there is a bit lack of confidence. Anyways, even with these bands, you are considered to be a very good student. Okay, for reading and listening, it's the same. Like if you get 9 bands in listening, of course you're an expert student. If you get 8.5, 8 bands, you are on the rare errors. All right, if you get 7 bands, it means alright, 8 and 7.5, it means they are the same. You make rare errors. But if you get 7 or 6.5, 6.5, yes, if you get 7 bands or 6.5 bands, it means you have occasional inaccuracies. It means the mistakes you make or commit or the blunders you do, they are unignorable. So it means these occasional inaccuracies are serious. So that's why you are considered to be a good user of English, like speaking, listening, reading, and writing. If you get 6 bands, you are a competent user. 6 bands both in academic and general, and both have the same label for you. If you get 6 bands, it means you are a competent user and you make some errors. Now, some errors are more than occasional accuracies, keep in mind. Suppose here in a one sentence you make one mistake, here you make two, three, or maybe there are some errors which are serious in nature and they are hard to ignore actually. So you are considered to be a competent user. It means you do try to answer the questions, you do have the guts as well, but still you're not an expert. And you do need to focus on these things. Okay, 5.5 or 5, it means you make frequent errors. There are a lot of errors in your speaking, listening, reading, and writing. Keep in mind, these errors could be grammatical. Mainly, the main thing is grammatical errors. So, these things must be understood by all of you so that you could be able to understand before you go for IELTS. Same is the case here. Listening, of course, if you answer, if you are an expert in listening, you would be answering almost all the questions correctly. Then, if you are achieving 8 bands, you are considered to be still an expert with rare errors or mistakes. If you achieve 7 bands, you are a good user. It means you have occasional inaccuracies as you had here. And if you get 6.5 bands, you are just making you're making small some mistakes. But yeah, some mistakes is the same as here. It means with some mistakes, you are hitting 6.5 to 6. It means errors are hard to ignore and they are more in number as compared to rare errors and occasional inaccuracies. And maybe you are not an expert in using complex language and things like that. Same is the case with 5.5 and 5. You have frequent errors like here I explained earlier. If you make frequent errors, it means you get to 5 or 5.5 bands in listening. So dear students, this was all about the division of bands in IELTS. So if you are going to do IELTS and you don't know how bands are scored. So this video is very, very useful for you guys. And to be honest, if you go to do IELTS and you don't even know about the division of bands, it's going to be very hard for you to keep a check of yourself, and you might be in a fix always, even after repeating the reading and listening test and again, because if you don't understand how scores are divided, you won't be able to judge yourself. Yes, if you do know these things, it means you would be in a position to judge yourself in a better way. So hopefully I'll see you in the next video, and next video is gonna be even more informative. And till the next video, have a lovely time with your loved ones, and enjoy your life. Keep me in your prayers. Hopefully, see you soon. Thank you.